here with Ronald Sanders, defensive coordinator for your Sudan Hornets. How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm doing great. Glad to be on. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. How have things been in Sudan under these bizarre circumstances?
You know, it's been a little different. Kind of missing the kids. I drive back and forth from Lubbock, Texas, so when I do get the chance to go into to Sudan, I kind of drive the neighborhood, kind of see, who's outside, and just kind of get a glimpse at them. I really can't hang out with them because got to keep 6 feet, so kind of wave and shout at them, make sure, hey, you doing your workouts and things like that. But yeah, whenever I get the chance to see them, I drive through the neighborhoods. I kind of make it a point to go by a certain kid's house just to see if they're outside. And like I said, kind of missing the kids. Can't wait till June 8th till we can be around some of them.
Now, in addition to the defensive coordinator, you're the powerlifting coach there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm a
And man, we were just getting started with the powerlifting season when
yeah,
this all hit.
yeah, yeah. We got to our regionals, which I had a couple kids qualify for regionals. We didn't make it out of regionals though, but had some good growth, some good gains from some of our younger kids in that powerlifting.
Now, when we're talking powerlifting and football, there's some obvious overlap there. I mean, especially in a school like Sudan, you use one sport to build on another.
Right, right, right. Yeah, I try to encourage. I didn't force any of them to go to the meets, but I did try to encourage a lot of them to come in and do some of the lifts. Like I said, especially our younger kids, we're kind of thin body wise, and when I say thin, I mean like we're built like some beam poles. Some of our younger ones, so you try to get them in and use that opportunity. Get them in the weight room and try to pack some weight on some of our kids. So.
Okay. So June 8th,
Sure.
it will be permissible
Yes,
for
sir.
schools to start their restricted strength and conditioning under
Mhm,
the rules and guidance that the UIL set down.
mhm.
What does that look like in Sudan?
You know, uh, me and Coach Cornelius, we kind of sat down and talk about, how we want to do it. We've got, I'm pretty sure, small town kids are going to work. So we've got a group of kids that are working. We've got a group of kids that are not working. Um, and the UIO actually is going to allow us to do some stuff on Friday. So what we decided to do is we're going to have our non-workers. They'll go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll have the workout for them. Of course, in the weight room, everything's everything's moved around. You're spreading things apart. Got to have 10 feet by 10 feet. And then our other kids will have the weight room open Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and kind of allow those kids to kind of pop in whenever they can.
So let's talk the fall because we're going to play football. I'm not going to hear anything other than that.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, sir.
what is the what do the Hornets look like defensively for this coming year?
You know, we unfortunately we lost our good nose tackle, Alex Conley. We lost our Mike Backer, who's I think he was number one or number two in the district in tackles, and then I also lost one of my stack. We were in the 3-3 stack backer who he had something like 96, 97 tackles. So we've got some big shoes to fill on the defensive side. Um, but we've got some kids who kind of stepped it up as we were working out in off season. Some kids who we had a Beto Diaz. He's going to be a good player for us this year. He had a shoulder problem there for a little bit, but he'll be back. He had some really good games those last 4 games, and I think he's going to be a good leader for us. We've got a young kid, Josh Severa. He's going to be a sophomore this year, who really competed in track, and we've been kind of talking to him about growth and maturing. and I think he's going to help us out a whole lot on that defense. So yeah, we've got some holes to plug up, but I think with the scheme we run, our kids don't think a lot. They play fast. It's not necessarily reacting. It's we're really proactive on the defensive side of the ball. We like to fly. Like seeing those black hats, 11 at a time plus grandma, at the football, and our thing is swarm and punish, and that's our motto on defense is to swarm the football, and when we get there, we're punishing people, and making sure that running back or that receiver, that quarterback, whoever's got the ball, that next time they get the ball, they don't want that thing anymore. So.
Now, you mentioned losing kids, and you can look at your depth chart, and you know who's starting that's a senior, and you can kind of be planning into the future and get that junior or a sophomore some reps at that position to have them ready. But you also mentioned leaders. The reality is you're not going to have 11 leaders on defense. You're going to have 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So what kind of things as a coach do? You see a kid, some kids are natural leaders and you don't have to do anything. But you know that there are certain kids you want to be a leader that maybe that's not a natural thing for them. What do you do to develop a leader?
So I was talking about Mr. Rivera, and kind of some of the things that I did for him was we had like Brett Wilson, and we had Christian Montez and Alex Conley, and I would always tell them, hey, you need to watch how these kids act, watch how they respond during the game, kind of emulate some of those behaviors in practice, off the field in the game. I also try to just kind of take them underneath my wing. And I get those kids, kind of pull them aside, especially on offense. A lot of the times I was, kind of running the scout team, and, you got some of those younger kids who are going to be players, and, kind of just say, hey, right now you're on the scout team. You get the opportunity to kind of prove to me, what kind of player you're going to be in the future. Because right now I'm looking, I'm not just sitting here hanging out and twiddling my thumb. I'm looking, for kids to step up. And here recently, which we just started the Sports U app, I've been kind of texting kids like, hey, I'm gonna have to count on you. Can you be that guy for me? And are you willing to step up and be that person for me? So, right now, just kind of, like I said, right now, just kind of trying to put some of that in their head. So when they get there on June 8th, I'm not necessarily having to look for those guys to step up, and they kind of already have it in their head, like, hey, Coach Sanders wants me, to be that guy. And so, yeah, those are kind of the things that I've been doing. I think Coach Corn's going to give me the opportunity to kind of do some leadership classes. Now, of course, like you said, there'll only be a couple of leaders, on the football field at a time. But my thing is, I want to teach every kid how to have some of those leadership qualities, because somebody may go down, and we may lose it. We may lose a kid on the football field, or with the stupid COVID thing, somebody could get sick or something like that. So at any point, I'm a military vet, and one of the things was at any point in time, somebody could go down, and now it's your turn to step up, and you got to lead. So we want to teach everybody how to be a leader, and what type of qualities that you need to have in order to be that leader. And it's not how you play, it's how you act, how you respond, how you treat people. So those are some of the things that that I kind of do with the kids in order to teach them that hey, this is what you need to be, this is what I'm looking for, and if you got it, then let's go. So
very good. The so UIL realignment.
Mm-hmm.
What did that do for Sudan, and what do you look like schedule-wise coming for this year?
Well, one thing we wanted to do, we wanted to really beef up our non-district schedule. We kind of felt like we went 10-0, which was a good thing. but we kind of felt like at times we weren't tested. Um, I can, looking at the schedule from last year, I think team scored a total of like 40 points throughout the season, and then we get in the playoffs. We play Vega, which gosh, those kids were big, and they ended up beating us 55 to 12. I think was the final score, and I think a lot of that was because we hadn't really played anybody. We weren't battle tested, so this year non-district wise. Coach Cornelius we put Farwell back on the schedule, which they're bringing it back. Uh, they're bringing back a lot of kids, and we added Sundown, which Sundown's usually pretty tough. They may have a little bit of down year, but I mean it's Sundown. They're always going to be good. We're playing. Is it Stanford Bulldogs? We're meeting them in Floydada. Those kids are always fast. I remember at post scrimmaging them, and, watching those kids fly around. So we've kind of taken some of those. We want to take some steps, in a different direction. And 10-0 was good, but I know we're going to have our bumps and bruises that non-district schedule. But I think it's either going to make us or break us. We're either going to toughen up and fight through it, or we're going to sit back and just kind of take it. But I think with our kids, we've kind of got that mindset of, hey, we don't like losing, and we're going to learn from our mistakes. District wise, we still got Bovina. Bovina was in the district with us last year. Let me see here. We added New Home, which we played New Home last year. We added Smyre to the district, and then Ropes. Ropes is coming up to be a 11-man school, which and a lot of and I'll be honest, our district isn't that tough. But I mean, you still got to line up. You still got to make sure you win the ball game at the end of the day. And then, like I said, we wanted to kind of beef up that schedule a little bit, so that way we going into playoffs, we knew, hey, we played Sundown, we played Stanford, we played Farwell, and going back and win, lose or draw, looking at those mistakes and, hey, how can we fix this? How can we get better at that? I went to Monterey and Coach Morton. We had some serious non-district schedules where at times we would go 0-5, but then go 5-0 in district and 3 rounds deep. In the playoffs. And I mean, one year we ended up beating DeSoto High School 21-17, which they were formerly the number one team in the state. And we go and lose. We lost to South Lake Carroll by a touchdown, but I think a lot of that was because of we were battle tested and we were ready to play some of those harder teams. So I think it's going to help us out a whole lot, in getting in the district and then getting deeper in the playoffs.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks for your time today, and definitely hope we get to see the Hornets on the field this fall.
Yes, sir. Thank you for all that you're doing. Doing for the kids and exposure and with Texas high school football. We can't thank you guys. Matt Stepp and Jason 806. We can't thank you guys enough for what you guys are doing for our sport and for our kids. We appreciate that.